Okay, perfect. Okay, I think it should be.
Wait, hold on. Let me pull it up.
Will be posted to YouTube Live as well. Okay. Yeah, so Giul, you want me to let me start pulling up some of that stuff you sent me. So yeah, I guess first for everyone, we're gonna start. I think Julian is gonna go through some of his watch list, go through some of the stuff he likes, and then afterwards I'll go through sort of an SPX daily recap that John wanted me to do for everyone. And then after that, if needed, we can just do a sort of a just the usual informal charting session for everybody else. So
Wait, Nico, can you give me like 20 seconds?
yeah, all good.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, so hopefully that sounds good for everyone. And then yeah, I think I finally figured out YouTube. So hopefully it's not hopefully I don't post like a super grainy image again um or no audio. So it should be fixed for the recording. Thanks to Chris. Chris helped set me up. Well, Fledge a while ago, and then Chris today helped. Okay. Yeah, did I ping everyone to join? Oh yeah, I did. Um,
Fortunately.
Wait, who is that? Who said that? Fucking Dylan, this motherfucker.
who you think, bro?
Dylan makes 600K in a day, and he thinks he's the shit, huh?
No, but I did make 1.3 bill in a year. Now I think I'm the
Bill.
shit.
Damn. So
Yeah,
when
Lord
you
have
find me
mercy.
out?
It's not mine. It's capital in the fund.
You
I
get
wish it
this
was
little
mine.
commission now.
Dylan's actually broke, y'all. He actually has very little money. Okay. Are we
All right, you're good.
ready? Trolling Dylan.
No, it's the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
Oh yeah, John, good night. Thanks for joining a little bit. Okay. Uh, Giul, if you're ready, I can start pulling up some of those images, or is there anything you need to go over beforehand? Otherwise, I'll just start at top
Yeah,
of
you
the
can pull them up. I
list.
mean, yeah, you can pull up. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
start at the top.
Do you want me to pull up the Gex and
Is
Vex
at the
side by
top.
side? Like, do you want me to put an extra tab here and show both at the same time? Or is this fine as it is?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah, let me do that real quick.
You can pull it up on the right if you want. I'll also pull it up on mine.
Can you change your heat seeker to dark mode, please?
Who's it? No. I don't like the dark mode.
God, I don't know how you people do light mode. It kills
It
my
hurts my
eyes.
fucking eyes.
You guys don't well when you
We don't
have
like sunlight around here.
yeah, when I have horrendous when I'm working up all night, you need white, otherwise you'll fall asleep. So
I use
Sorry, that's awful. Burned me.
there's like a night mode that you can turn on for monitors. I use that shit. It's great.
yeah, I don't know. I just murder my eyes. My phone too. Just turn it on.
Nico
It's like
You at least wear blue
doesn't
light
like the color.
glasses?
He doesn't like the color black. So.
That
bruh.
tracks.
Blue light glasses? No, I don't.
Get yourself a pair. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I'm just raw dogging this. I'm definitely gonna have glasses again in a few years.
How
Well, I
do you
had
know when you're
glasses.
fucking
I
blind? You're
got
using
LASIK a couple
light
years
mode
ago.
at night, dude. You're gonna be blind.
Alright, this is not a medical session. Let's let Jewel get over. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day if I get
All
normal
right, so
sleep
can you
schedule,
zoom?
I'll do dark mode. All right, zoom in where?
All right, can we stop talking about this light shit so I can yeah, get going? So zoom in on the left side, can you?
Here.
Yeah.
Is that
All
enough?
right. So yeah, that's fine. So a lot of stocks, they're all obviously. So a lot of stocks these past couple of days have been already running. and very, very, very minimal plays that I was eyeing are like dip buys and stuff like that. Semiconductors have been very, very, very strong. I called that out actually this morning to keep eyes on like MU, SMCI, AVGO, NVIDIA, stuff like that. I think personally that semis can continue to keep running. And so you kind of have to be prepared. You have to be prepared and kind of be prepped in case they do. Something like Lily, like if you saw LLY yesterday already running $30 and you turned the other way and you just like didn't, you were like, all right, I missed the move. There's nothing left on this. You obviously would have missed today's play for 1,500%. So you always have to be prepared and keep eyes on things that have already moved and things that haven't moved yet. And semiconductors are, I think, getting a lot of flow right now. And there's something to definitely keep an eye on and see where you can enter and where you can make plays out of like what's already happened. ARM, I think, is a great one. And if you look at the chart, there's a clear resistance at 155. And if you go to the JEX or whatever you want to call it, GX on ARM, there's a nice little support at 150 and a king node at 155. That 155 king node lines up with that previous resistance wall that we rejected from. So what I'm eyeing here is a buy off 150 to target 155. And if we get lucky and break that 155, we can see higher. So we can see 160, 166, for example. So there's two ways you can play this. If we get it depends just on how we open tomorrow. We have no idea what's going to happen. We have no idea if we're going to dip. We have no idea if ARM's just going to keep climbing. So you have to be prepared for all cases. One of the cases is buying off the 150 dip, targeting 155 and then potentially higher, or waiting for 155 to break and checking the heat map and seeing if the ceiling rises up higher and higher, and try to buy off that 155 retest when we break above it. So ARM's one of the things that I'm looking at for tomorrow and potentially like throughout next week, whenever it just depends on what it does. So that's something I'm eyeing there. I think VEX also has higher targets. It's like October 17th, VEX has a node at 170, and I know these are OPEX nodes, and also 2 weeks out, so I wouldn't really pay much attention to that. But if you go to the VEX 2, 160 is slightly lit, and 162.5 is also slightly lit. If we actually start climbing up and that 155 gets broken, I'm going to look for that 160s to start getting more and more volume. And that would confirm that we're going to go a little bit higher than this. So you can switch to the next one now. This is something I was eyeing.
Yeah, my bad. Let me pull next
There you go.
one. All right. Yeah, I'll start switching
All
when I
right.
start talking as I switch this over.
Yeah. So Intel had a great move. I think it can see higher. If you look at the 36 area there, there's previous resistance twice back there. Let me pull up this map on my computer quick so you can see it better. So there's also nose lit for 40, and there's lots of volume coming in. Great news on Intel coming in too. This will be more of like a continuation play. If you look at the bottom two at 26.17, you can see how many times we've tapped that, and we actually broke above that. I think this is the weekly chart or daily. We broke above that and started flying. Now we're coming up against another resistance here that you can see was tested a couple times. If that breaks, I'm going to expect it to keep flying also through that and probably target that 44 level. This could play out, within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're not really sure, or it can actually just play out tomorrow. It's just something you have to keep an eye on and just see what happens. So that's what I was eyeing for Intel. There's a lot of news on that, a lot of flow coming in on that. So it's something definitely to keep on your watch list, and just set. You could even set an alarm at 36.30, and then once it triggers, keep eyes on it for that day. and see if we reject or hold that level. You can go to the next one now.
Yeah, 1 second. Next one should be bruh. Oh, okay, this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good old CoreWeave. I think CoreWeave is one of those stocks I put up there with Tesla where you should just always have this on your watch list and just always be watching it. It moves like crazy and it gives you so many opportunities to make money if you understand what's going on with it. Right now, on a higher time frame, I think we're breaking out, and I think eventually, like, this is going to be a long-term play to the upside. You have a golden node at 135. So if we retest that level, I'm 100% buying it. And if we retest even 130, I'm still buying that. 145 is lit right now for 1.9, I think you say 1.9 million or something like that. 140 is also lit too. So I think that if we break this 138 area, which you can see in the previous candle was tested before, and we kind of went through it a little bit today and came back down, if we break that level and hold above it, we can easily see 140, 145, and even higher over time. I think eventually we'll be back at 200. So you can go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. Here.
Good old SMCI. So I played this today for 180% on my lotto contracts. Right now we're in a gap fill. I just shrunk it to today's high of day to the end of the gap fill just to make it look better. But we broke out of that 4750 area today and it just continued flying. It's filling the gap right now. The gap still has some juice from 5230 to 57-ish, which is about, it could be, if it fills today, I mean, if it fills tomorrow or Friday, it's easily like 400% plus. I'm not sure if we'll get that pullback to 47.5. So pull it up my screen quick. Hold on. So 53 is lit, and I think if we get 54 and 55 to start growing volume, I think this gap fill will eventually happen. I would just be looking at today's high a day and just seeing what we do at that level tomorrow. If we break and base above today's high a day, I think we can see higher. So it's something I'm definitely watching. It looked good today. Like I said, semis are bullish. SMCI is getting a lot of good flow. I think that gap fill will eventually fill, and we can easily play that. It's just tough playing the gap fill when there's no pullback because, like, my contracts were lottos for a reason. It was already flying all day, but I know it can go higher, but you also don't know when it could dump or just flip on you. So it's one of those trades where you're just taking a lotto position, just hoping that it flies through that gap fill because you already missed the buy at that 47.50 mark. All right, you can flip to the next one.
What's that?
Say again, do you have a question or no?
Oh yeah, I think it goes without saying. Hopefully, for anyone joining, please,
Oh, yeah.
please mute.
All right, Microsoft. This was one of my top watches for this week. I was actually able to kind of play this a little bit. I think for like 45% or like 35%. If you look at the chart and the line I drew at 517.50, you can see how many times that was tested as a resistance and support. It's a major key pivot level. On my tweet, I mentioned too that Microsoft's just been chopping sideways, I think, for like 17 days straight, between 506 and 517.50. There's bull flow on this. It's a lagger and it's breaking previous resistance right now for a breakout. I think this could be a great long-term play. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. And I think the heat map also looks good. There's lots of upside targets on this for next week and the next week after that. And eventually, if these targets grow over 520, could be a great play. This is definitely one of my top watches. I just want to see what happens around 517.50, but over that you have 520, which is a big psych level. So if you want to be even safer, I'd wait to see what happens at 520. If you break that, I mean, I think calls with time is perfect for this. I mean, it's a huge week. I think that's a weekly chart you're on right now. So it's a weekly breakout. When you have larger time frame breakouts, the moves are way more bigger and lots of profits to be made. So I think this is a great play right now. It's finally starting to move. It's finally getting volume. It's definitely one of my top watches. And if you get a pullback on this to 520 or 517.48, I would definitely buy that for upside. All right, you go to the next one.
Yeah, give me a second.
Also, all these charts I'm going to post in swing ideas, so you guys can just copy it on your charts or pick which ones you like most and just have that for tomorrow just to watch. All right, AMD, another thing. All these semiconductors are starting to catch a bid here and actually starting to move. You can see here, AMD's just been sideways for so fucking long, trying to get through 162.30, that area there. This is also getting bull flow, and we're actually starting to break out now. I think I want to see. So how I looked at AVGO and how I played it today is AVGO had like 5 nodes to the upside with like the same volume. And that to me, I love playing maps like that because it's so bullish that 5 nodes in a row have the same volume and are all huge volumes. Just shows me that there's a lot of targets to the upside to play. You can see this right here at 172.5 and 170. I think eventually, I think we'll actually hit 170, 172.5. Something I'm looking at. I think if we break above 162.30, your best bet is buying off that level on a retest. If we don't get it, like AMD could easily tomorrow just like pump $4 or $5 in the morning, and like those plays are tough because you're chasing heavily. If it flips on you, automatically your cons are down like 40%. So that's why we stress really to do lotto positions. The best bet would be if it pumps, hopefully we get a pullback to 162.30, but nothing's guaranteed. So it's on you if you want to risk a few cons if we do end up just straight pulling, like just straight going up, or if you want to play it smart and you want to be less risky, wait for a nice pullback to 162.30, see if we hold that level, see if we get a good nice green candle there that's strong and buy that for the upside. But I think eventually 170 and 172.5 look good for the upside. All right, you can flip it. There's also lots of nodes on VEX too, up to the upside on that one. All right. OKLO. This is something I'm going to kind of just like set and forget. That's the best type of plays. You don't have to really worry about them. If we get a pullback to 109, that would be the best ideal buy for me. But there is a gap on the upside from 122 to about 130, which is an $8 upside move. You can see that 122 level for the gap fill has been tested 3 times there. Eventually, this gap will be filled, I think, to the upside 100%. So there's 2 ways you could play it. Either buy off 109 or wait for a break at 122 for the gap fill and just send a few cons and play it that way. The VEX has lots of upside nodes on the right over there. And there's also major support at 115 for this week. I would want to see for the GX, whatever you call it, I want to see some upside nodes grow at more volume. It looks like all those upside nodes are a little bit low volume, so it's a little bit something I was eyeing, but I think eventually this gap will fill, and OKLO is a stock that will just fly continuously. And for you to catch it, you got to buy before the pump. So I'll be keeping an eye on this, keep an eye on that 122 level, and just setting an alarm and just seeing what happens at the level when the alarm triggers on my screen. So I don't know if this will happen this week, but it's just something that you just set, and if it happens, it happens. If it happens next week, you play it next week. If it happens the week after that, then so be it. So Yeah, you can flip to the next one now. All right, Carvana. This one I'm not sure on. So Diamond just told me on this one that she thinks it's bearish. I think it's bullish because just looking at the chart here, this previous resistance at this 400 level, I think this could be an easy play. If we're trusting Heat Seeker on this, I mean, a break of 400 sends it to 430. It's whether or not you trust that node. Looking at it from a charting point of view, I mean, looks like we're kind of wedging up. We have major resistance at 400. I think if we break above that, I mean, we could easily see that 430 mark. It does look good. So I'm just eyeing this 400 zone over here. I want to see you breaking base above it. I mean, I thought LLY yesterday. I was looking at the upside node. I thought that was impossible. I was proven wrong. So, I mean, if we do hit 430, I really wouldn't be surprised. It just really depends on this 400 level and if you can break above it and actually have a strong close. So I'm just watching this for tomorrow, watching this for the rest of the week, seeing what happens. I would want to see, like, since it's a $30 move, I mean, you don't want to rush it. You want to wait for like a 30-minute candle close above 400 or an hour candle close. You don't want to wait for a 3-minute candle close in case we do flip to the downside. You're not caught in these contracts. You're not selling for like a 70% loss. So I would flip to like a 30-minute or an hour candle close above this 400 level because you're targeting a $30 upside move. So you don't want to rush that. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on too. I think that's it, right, Nico? Or no?
That should be everything you sent me, Giul.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go through a couple more because I didn't get to a couple stocks, but that's
Sure.
just everything I could find for now. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Great. So I think, yeah, for everyone, I think Giul said he'd send these all out in the Swing Ideas channel, if I remember right. So yeah, you guys can check them out there. But I think having him walk you through the thought process should be a huge benefit. And this should also be a very good example of what good maps look like and good setups on the chart. So I do think during the charting sessions I've done, I guess what would be nice is if over time, I would hope we start seeing more better and better setups being asked for, right? Because, well, either way, I'll review any setup that y'all want, but what we should be looking for is just setups that look similar to these, some of these that Jill went over. And just over time, we want to be only focusing on tickers that have good potential, right? And that'll vastly help everyone in the live streams, but just everyone in the server in general if we're discussing quality setups more percentage of the time. Yeah, so thanks, Jewel. I don't know, is there anything else you want to go over? Or that should be good, right?
right now, I mean, no, unless people want to ask me about my recaps, but I don't have anything prepped for that, so I'll kind of be
Yeah,
caught off guard. You would have to chart it up yourself. But if someone pings me, I can, while you're doing your session, I can chart up a recap and then send it to you again, and then we can go over it towards the end
sure. Or
if you want to do
equally,
that.
I can just chart it myself live, and then if you want to chime in with any
Yeah,
thoughts, we
just
can also do that. So
yeah, it depends on what people want.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, sounds good. Um, yeah, so I think for now, we can. Yeah, I'll go over a few tickers that I think were left over from conversations earlier in the day that I couldn't get to, and then Jewel, if there's anything from PMs, you can just bring it up in a few minutes once I'm done, and then we can do it like that. That probably sounds good for now. All right. So let me see. Yeah, Lune, thanks. I know. Yeah, Lune, thanks. First of all, I was in a one-on-one, and then I was just like super slammed. I didn't have any time to really take a look at any of this stuff. So we can do that now. So let me see here. We have, what was this? Okay, yeah, AMD. Let me see here. Let me see. So AMD recently broke and held this level. We dropped down to hourly. Looks like AMD's been struggling to break above this 163-ish. It's been, well, maybe even all the way up to 164. It's been tapped quite a few times. I think over on the heat map side, honestly, we have this 162, 160 area as a really strong floor. So I would say AMD does look semi-decent if we hold here for a bounce into next week. You know, we have this 170 node lit up pretty well. And even, I know it's OPEX nodes, but yeah, this one 185 it's also lit up pretty high up. So I don't know if I'd target weeklies. I mean, we do have this 172 target. That's pretty decent, but honestly, like next week, if we're looking towards a 170 push, that does look a bit healthier. If you're looking for AMD on the upside. Now, again, this is all assuming we hold this 162 to 160 level. So, yeah, that would be my thoughts there. I'm at, I think this is materials company. So, yeah, I don't know how the sector in general is doing. Yeah, I guess another comment on AMD is like Giul said that the semi sector has been very, very strong lately. So, it's another positive there. So it looks like Ahmad ran crazy today. Oh, yeah, that's actually insane. Was there news on this or something? But yeah, in any case, we are sort of approaching some of these peak upside nodes. So one comment I'll make is it looks like we probably pumped off of this 200 floor where I guess that was more last week, but I guess the one comment I'd make here is tomorrow I would probably want to wait a bit throughout the day and see how some of these lower nodes grow. Because if we really just start to get a ton of accumulation at around 215, 217, we may not really get a rejection off this peak node like we're anticipating. If we do continue seeing some volume a bit lower, then I think maybe we can expect some level of downside. Um, I will say this one's also interesting just due to the fact that next week and 2 weeks out seem to point down mostly. I do wonder if we give it a bit of time to reshuffle if some of these nodes start shifting higher. But yeah, right now it looks like there's potential for a rejection off of this peak node that we tapped today. But again, I would just give it a little bit of time tomorrow, just due to the fact that it seems like there's a couple of these other nodes that probably caught a lot of volume as we pumped throughout the day. And if these all continue to grow, then we could, um, yeah, we just might see some limited downside. But currently, the rejection is not terrible there. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm checking in with the chat. 1 sec. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that was a mat. Okay, Delta. Let's take a look. Mm, so Delta's had a pretty good downtrend actually for a bit. Let me see. Give me a second here. Okay, on the heat maps, it looks like we are headed for that 55 node. If we do get that 55, honestly, yeah, I don't mind Delta here. I think 55 will probably also line up with some fib levels if we draw the extension here. Sorry, not extension. Fib retracements. So yeah, honestly, like this 55 level lines up really well with this first golden pocket. It's sort of on the downside of it. So I'll probably just set an alert here, and just let it play out, right? Like I wouldn't, don't try to force this or try to catch it early. Just set the alert just above 55 if you want, or at 55, and just let the trade happen naturally. And just make sure you're not, chasing an early entry, and trying to catch it before the move actually happens. So, but yeah, overall, like this does look like a very strong node. So we probably can expect some bounce off of it. I will say the only upside nodes a couple weeks out are OPEX nodes. For next week, it is a bit odd. We're not seeing very many major nodes, so I think on this one you might want to err on the cautious side and just allow yourself time. So whatever contracts you do end up purchasing, just make sure you're grabbing enough time on them that you give yourself a bit of cushion there. Yeah, but overall, pretty strong map with a pretty distinctive node that we can see there. United Healthcare also has very distinct node down here at 340. Now let me see. Looks like we've held this level actually, this 342 support resistance flip all week. So it's actually tested it, well, actually a couple times, once last week and just every day of this week. It's tested and bounced off pretty well each day. I will say the upside, there's not much upside going into next week. Here, I mean, we have a bit here at 357, but it's honestly a bit cluttered. Like we have this strong 340 node, which I think has shown and how often we've bounced there, but then yeah, like I just see a lot of ceilings here. So even for upside this week, like this 352 might step in as a ceiling short term. So I just worry like the bounce definitely happened today, but if I would imagine that was missed because most people were likely waiting for that full 340 tap. So this bounce just above. That this trade really, the risk reward is not great on it, uh, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to Chewy. Yeah, and sorry, I'm not really checking the chat. So hopefully people are not saying things about what I'm saying right now. But okay, so we have Chewy. Let me see here. So yeah, Chewy also had pretty strong level here. That was tapped a few times as resistance, now kind of held as support. Over on the map side, I would say, yeah, that, let me see. The 38.5 node had some volume. Honestly, I would have likely just waited for 37.5 to play, so I don't know if I would have played this bounce myself. But based on the chart, actually it does look like a very clean support resistance flip, but I can understand if you didn't want to play this 38.5 bounce due to this 37.5 node existing. But the upside to 41 looks quite good. The only thing I would say here is we just got delivered from 40.5. So just I would double check if you compare this map to the map at open today or to the close yesterday. Just take a look at how much this $41 node shrank and how much some of these other lower nodes accumulated, and that might give you a hint into, if we saw this 41 tail off pretty strongly after rejecting, that perhaps we won't make it back up, seeing that we just delivered from that area. If this node stays strong or grow a bit, then you can look at this for a bit more upside. But yeah, I would say same here. Like whether it's upside or downside, like this reversal pretty much already happened. So at this point, you just be chasing like a move of about $1, $1.50. So like on this trade as well, you've sort of the upside is capped a bit. Yeah, and I guess the other thing I'll say is you can also wait into later in the week and just see if you can play that 41 rejection if we do end up coming back to it, and just play the rejection back off 41. Okay. Yeah, let me see. So Dr. Eugene talked about meta. I will say I think it was meta that had news. I don't know what news it was. I haven't read, so any update I'll give there has the caveat of it may be influenced a bit more by news that I'm just not aware of what the situation is on the news side. Okay, so let me see here. So meta on daily. It's been trending down honestly for the past couple weeks. Yeah, I think the 730 last week a few people, or I think it had a pretty good node. So, oh no, sorry, this week. looking like a double bottom could form there, but yeah, it's just been continuously breaking down. It sort of faked out some trend line breaks a few times, and then it's just been rejecting each time and just keep sinking a bit further. I will say, yeah, that I think Nick mentioned that, yeah, the 700 level should be pretty do or die, and it should be pretty strong level, just um, purely from a psych level standpoint, but then also likely on the chart it was pretty decent level. So yeah, we did have around the 690 to 700, or yeah, 690 to 700. We did have a double bottom in the past, and sort of this 702, 705-ish range used to be is a previous. Oh, actually, I take that back. Not a previous all-time high, but it was a previous strong resistance level. So honestly, like I might prefer to wait a bit longer to play a bounce on meta.
怎么这么
So
点儿？你看等电脑看平衡的，
oh, sorry, give me a second.
直接
I got it. He's muted.
Okay, yeah, it's too many people. I can't tell who has it. Thanks, Dylan. But yeah, overall, I think on meta, it's been sinking for a while, and honestly, I don't see a very strong thesis for a bounce yet. Now, I do think as we sink a bit lower towards 700, yeah, just set some alerts or just keep track of it throughout the day, and then around there is where you want to be checking for a bounce for those. Okay. Let me keep going. Tesla. So I'm pretty sure Tesla ran really hard today. So I think Tesla on Monday we had chatted about it, where we're able to sort of break and claim this either this 445 level, or I think 450 had a strong node. Yeah, so 450 had a strong node here. That would be good for upside. Now I will say I think Tesla ran really hard in the morning, so I think the entry on this might have been a bit difficult, especially if you're waiting for the 450 break and retest. Like it's almost impossible. But yeah, now that Tesla has cleared that level, yeah, you can. These upside nodes have sort of taken stronger hold. So the only thing I'll say here does look pretty good for some continuation, but I will say like we have had some intermediary ceiling sort of step in at 460, 462. So, but again, I think Tesla is running pretty strong momentum. Um, but yeah, like honestly, this might also be one of those cases where sort of the break, playing the 450 break, or even before, entering before, and targeting that 450 test was probably the better play. And then now that we have moved so much on Tesla, both on Tuesday and today, that it is the upside is pretty limited compared to what it was earlier in the week. Okay. Yeah, let me keep going down the chat. Meta. Dylan, I saw you sent these. I don't know if you want me to pull those up or not, or just look those set up separately.
You can. I don't care.
So yeah, let me.
I'm just scrolling through stuff.
All right. Yeah, let me pull up a few of these things that Dylan had looked at.
Have fun.
Just again, Dylan usually deals with volume range profiles, so not I'm no expert, but I'll do my best to sort of go through and give some explanation for all of y'all. So I think Palo Alto. Oh, this is not visible. Maybe a bit blurry, but don't know how to pull it up any better.
You have to download them.
Oh, okay. Might not do that. Yeah, I'm too lazy.
He said, "Fuck yo charts."
Let me see.
Yeah, no shit.
Give me a second. Oh, now I gotta go save all these. Okay, give me a second here. I want to save all Dylan's charts, and then I can pull them up.
It might not look good either because I exported them from a 34-inch monitor. I don't know if that changed anything.
Wait, Dylan.
Um,
Nico, I'll send you Rocket Lab right now. You can pull it up while you do that shit.
Yeah, either way works. Let me see. I just pulled Dylan's downloads. Even if it's 34, Dylan, I think mine is. I don't know.
I
If
don't
it's
know. They look
34
fine when I
or
open them.
does it look better
You just
now?
gotta download them.
Pull up that DM I just sent you.
That's
Hi,
good enough.
Dylan. Giul hasn't canceled you.
That's fine.
All right, we'll go back to Dylan's
He said
picture.
he sent in like LLY, like little Eli Lilly when it already flew. Like, what are we gonna do with that? You think it's gonna
Rich,
fly more?
look at the chart and then look at the map. Mind your business.
Oh no.
I
Okay,
didn't look at the map yet.
let's hit these
All
one
right,
by one.
here's.
We're about to have these dudes start beefing.
Are you blind?
I didn't
Oh
look at
no.
the chart. I mean the map. Fuck. All right, it
All right,
has like
Giul.
I
8,
don't even
7,
need
8.
the
All
map
right.
for this one.
Why, you're gonna keep riding it?
Bruh.
Nah, fuck no. I had 770 calls. I sold them bitches today.
This motherfucker. All right, here's Rocket Lab here. So you can see there's resistance at 4780 there. And we just broke above it now, right? We came back. Now we're retesting it. So I think off rip. I mean, in the morning at 9:30, this can just fly. The maps to the upside are, 50, 54, 57. Gex and Vex are aligned on this. So I think it's a no-brainer to also just watch this at open. If it flies, it flies. You're just gonna have to YOLO a position in this one. Like, but yeah, we're retesting that breakout now. So that's what I see for that. So I think it could be a great play tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't burn us like it has in the past. So we'll see what happens. But someone requested that, so it's that. Now pull up Dylan's Eli Lilly. Let's see that one.
Yeah, let's. Okay.
I'm curious. Let's hand him the mic. See what he says.
Oh God.
No, that's too much pressure.
I don't know if he's gonna say anything at all.
It's too much pressure talking to 20 kids in Discord, but not fucking having 50 million in funds fucking trading with.
2.8 billion, but
Whatever. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Dylan, I don't know if you want to give people your thoughts as to, because I think these
No,
are
not
trades you
really.
already took, right?
No.
No, this kid's still riding it. That's what I said. I looked at this shit. I was like, man,
I
this
haven't
shit already
taken any
flew,
of the
bro.
trades I
What?
sent you. These are all ideas.
This brother.
So
Oh, so
All right.
what's your idea on this one? I'm just looking at lines in yellow and blue. These are your favorite colors?
Bro,
yes, they
share,
are actually.
Kid's colorblind, dude.
I am, you fucker.
Good
share a
job.
couple thoughts because I'm trying to catch up on the channel chat.
Which one are you on?
Palo
I gotta
Alto.
look at it on my screen. I can't see that shit.
What?
Palo Alto's short
How is this not visible?
because I'm blind. I stared at the
All
screen
right,
in light mode for too long.
dude.
Or yeah, make it
Nah.
full screen. There you go.
It should be fine, right? If I make it full screen. I think
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
running
that's
the same
better.
monitor.
That one's a short. Next,
Okay. 1 second. Wait, I got all these saved.
you get a singular. You get a singular comment. Just open them up in Discord. Overextended short. That's Lily.
Okay, we're also at a pre-chunk. We're at a previous resistance level. I'll add some translation to Dylan's statements. All right, here's the
Long.
last one, I think. DocuSign. Yeah, I think this one's more self-explanatory. He has the.
You go over Docu already? I think you did.
No, not today.
Oh, okay. Long. Session done. Goodbye.
Thanks, Dylan. Okay, y'all. I'm still going.
I have
through
chat.
chat.
Positions on all of these, by the way.
Okay. Dylan's probably baiting y'all so he can have some exit liquidity.
Y'all can't
Keep
fill that
checking.
gap.
Rigetti. Ah, true.
I need like
Give
a
me
minimum 100,000 shares on each of them.
What else? Yeah, Big Giul. Giul already went over. Okay. We gotta stop making like these troll names. Just everyone have their own name, please. But yeah, Big Giul, we already went over Oklo. Okay, hello. I guess it'll be in the recording if you want to go back and see what Giul said. But let's try our best to not just be repeating the same setups. Yeah, all good. Yeah, if you missed it, the recording should be up. Does YouTube live stream let you go back live?
Yeah, it'll save it as a video.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, if he joins right now, the YouTube live, can he still backtrack to
Yeah.
when it started? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in that case, Big Joe, if you want to see it if you're dying to see it, you can go do that right now.
Look at Oracle.
Oracle. All right, give me a second here.
Dylan, what do you think of those downside notes? Because I've been eyeing this for like 3 weeks now.
On Oracle?
Do we just wait for a 300 reject? You think to all the way down? Because you have a huge gap fill from that goes down to 243.
I mean, I don't
So
think I'm waiting until 300 unless it gaps up. But
why? What are you shorting or longing?
shorting.
Yeah, so we're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm just gonna probably enter before you.
What are you entering is what I'm asking. Guys talking to me like hieroglyphics over here.
Bruh, these
like 295.
Okay, thank you. Fuck.
We
So I think we fill this gap. Let's see.
I'm just trading it down to like 260.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And Glitch called me fucking. Whatever.
He
All right,
probably
we're on the same
deserves it.
page. No, I didn't. What? I called out a short at 290. It went to what? 275. It's a $15 short. I'll take it.
That's money all day.
Okay. Well, goodbye.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Oracle looks like it's gonna be filling this large gap, like they said. Okay. Let me see.
Are we long meta again yet?
Oh man, did I already look at meta? Yeah, I did go over meta. I think meta. I was saying
Okay.
I was waiting for 700, right?
Seems like
Wait, actually, even a bit above. Maybe even the 705, 710.
Let's say 705, 708.
But I'd say maybe this 705 area here is a pretty good previous level that we're approaching pretty soon. Yeah, so I mean, off the chart, y'all can play that. I think I had said if you want to wait for confirmation on the nodes that the 700 psych level will probably have a really strong node that if it taps, it should bounce. Okay. Let me see. I was writing down. Okay, yeah, I was writing down what other people had said, so let me go through those. I think someone had asked for Fig. Is Fig the one that just had IPO? Yeah.
Runaway.
Last month. Yeah, I think Fig is at all-time lows. So I think I said if we have a good reaction off this low sweep, but it seems like we've just fought below, and I don't think you're gonna get any info. Oh, we do have a heat map for this? What? Why did Glitch see this? I feel like you could have better. I don't know, but yeah, I
You'll
would
probably
say
ask for it.
True. It looks like this 50 level bounce for now, but yeah, I would just keep an eye out and make sure these upside nodes stay strong. And see if we hold that 50 level. But yeah, the 50, 51 kind of level is pretty do or die. Okay. Yeah, these live streams getting too full. Can't keep up with this chat. All right. Fig. Someone asked for eBay. I think eBay had been discussed on Monday or in the group chat maybe. eBay, I look be pretty cautious. If we fall under this 88 level from the past, if we can't reclaim that, I'd say that's pretty then it looks pretty sketch to the downside. If we can reclaim this 88, let me see. It looks like we just lost the 90 level today. Yeah, I guess we had already tapped it a few times. That was the breakdown we saw today. So yeah, seeing we just delivered from that 90 node, actually, I wouldn't take it too much as a target. It will definitely act as a ceiling if we pump back up there. So eBay, I will say this setup looks a bit iffy. But let me see. I suppose you could look at this 87 node potentially for a bounce, but I wouldn't. Don't like that setup too much. Also, just not much range on it. It's pretty tight. Okay, Rigetti. I don't. Rigetti should have been played today. I don't think tomorrow or Friday will be playable again unless we get another 29 tap. This $29 level, but honestly, like we tapped it. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I'd say that level's been tested quite a few times. So I'd be very cautious to play it again. And yeah, if you did play, I guess the entry on this would have been either this morning, I think probably very early, or I guess in the afternoon it did retrace almost back to 29. So it's possible you could have caught that dip in the afternoon. But yeah, right now at least it does look pretty good for upside. There's no ceilings yet, but we might get something rolling, one of these nodes growing into later in the week. Okay. Sorry, Lune. What were you saying about eBay? What's a flag? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean flag? I might come back to that one. Yeah, no problem to cover Rigetti. Yeah, I think Rigetti. I think Hims also bounced well today. But a few of them actually retraced. Like I think Hims retraced almost the entire move. So just be cautious. Like Rigetti, I think I had mentioned like we've tested that $19 level several times. So just be cautious there. Yeah, so Lulu actually was also a very good play. So we had a strong 180 node since Monday, honestly. Like the map had looked pretty much like this Vex, even the Gex was looking pretty similar. So I think I had mentioned, yeah, if we come sweep that 180 level, you can look for a rejection. It's basically exactly what played out today. I think I watch listed these perhaps. I'm pretty sure these had to have ran at least like 50% by middle of the day, but I can double check those contract prices. But yeah, the 180 rejection worked very well on Lululemon. But again, I think that rejection has already happened. So then now for you to take an entry tomorrow will probably just be more of a chase rather than catching the reversal there. Okay, so that's Rigetti, Lulu. Wait, who requested Rocket Lab? Didn't Giul talked about Rocket Lab already. So I think he'll send his charts out in Swing Ideas as well. So I probably won't cover that one. John Deere. Yeah, Lune, let me pull that up. Okay, so John Deere, DKS, Alibaba. Okay. Let's see here. So John Deere, okay. John Deere's also just been selling off for quite a while. Let me see here. We are at a decent level. Looks like this previous. Oh my god. This thing. Yeah, honestly, like it's a pretty good level. It's an old all-time high, which we've used quite a few times as resistance in the past. Sorry, as support. And yeah, aligns pretty well with some fib retracement levels. Looking over at the map though, it does look pretty capped on the upside. It doesn't look too major here for a bounce. Also, these 457, that node was delivered from yesterday. It was there. So I would also say, yeah, keep an eye on those nodes, but I would expect that if price keeps a bit under, that those nodes will just start to fade throughout the week. So yeah, I would say John Deere like macro, honestly, doesn't look too bad for the bullish case. But for now, we just need to make sure we hold that 450-ish level. Yeah, and it's a bit tricky this one just because we do have some upside OPEX nodes. So it does look pretty good. From that case, I just would have been nice to see this October 10th node have just one of these have some volume towards upside so we could really get that stair-stepping pattern that we usually look for. Okay, John Deere. I don't know what DKS is. DraftKings? No, Dix. Which one's Draft? Oh, it's DKNG, I think. Okay, so DraftKings. Sorry, Dix. Dix here, we're also approaching this strong sort of 233, 234-ish level that's been tested a few times. Let me take a look here. I'm not getting too much from these heat maps. 222, 230. So yeah, actually, I guess one thing is if we're able to claim 230 and hold above and retest perhaps, then we can look for a bounce off that. Dix can go pretty strong if we do end up breaking this 233 level. But again, there's 2 days left in the week, so there's also a possibility that we just chop around here and the week at 230 and leave that expansion move afterwards later in the month or in the year. Okay. Alibaba. Let me see. Yeah, so it's, let me see, Alibaba's had pretty strong movement for a while now. Let me see. Honestly, these maps are a bit cluttered, but you can maybe take a look at 185 for potential rejection. Yeah, but I don't know if I'd say much more past that. Like, I do think there was this bounce here, pretty good support resistance flip. That lined up more with sort of this 177 level or even 180. But if you weren't already in play from that, then I'd say this has already been, pumped all of today, and overnight it looks like it's still running. So the only thing I'll say there is, yeah, I would just wait for 185. I don't think I'd chase either upside or downside. If we do tap 185, I could see there being downside. Just these 180 nodes are pretty strong. But that 180, 175 combo will probably act as a very strong floor. So if you do want to try the rejection of 185, I would not expect anything under 180 because I do think that level would probably hold pretty strong. Oh, you're looking at VEX. Okay, wait, sorry, Lune. Let me. So I think on John Deere headset, it does have pretty good upside on the macro. So yeah, if you do want to play this upside OPEX node, probably not a bad idea, but I guess my concern or what I've seen with these in the past is sometimes these like 470 or 460 nodes will grow in size and sort of provide a ceiling to cap and sort of limit the upside movement there. And Dix, Oh, Dix, I don't even know. Yeah, I know Dix was testing sort of like a triple top. Oh, okay, so I see you're looking for a rejection down lower on Dix, correct, Lune? Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, wait. Yeah, I haven't changed this. No wonder. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, only comment here is, yeah, just if we break and hold, obviously it's concerning, but you'd want this trend line to reject, and you'd also want this 230 node to not hold as support if you're looking for downside over the next 2 weeks. But same here as what I said for previous ticker. I guess for this to be, perfect setup, you'd want to see at least a few nodes towards downside on this October 10th week. So the fact it's not like fully stair stepping down is not to say it's not a still good thesis. It's just if you get that full stair step down, then it becomes more of a like a full on A, top tier setup there. Okay, so I think Alibaba I covered. Rocket Lab. Oh, uh, why does it truncate the names? Okay, I don't know who asked the question, but whoever asked the Rocket Lab thing, yeah, I don't know. You might want to talk with Giul on that one. But oh yeah, I mean, if you want to play on the safe side, always just buy further out, whether it's a week and a half for next week or even 2.5 weeks, whatever you need. If needed, always just play a bit further out if you're worried about when the move will happen. Okay, so no, Coinbase has not been mentioned. Let me pull this up. Okay, sorry, let me look here. So yeah, Coinbase had a really strong trendline break. It looks like it's now approaching this previous swing high. So you might want to be cautious, especially around that 350 level of a rejection. I guess even up to 352. And also, yeah, I guess we have a slight node there on GEX, but that's more so a read on the chart than these maps. I think with some of the upside move Coinbase has done this week, some of these lower nodes is where we just got delivered from, so they may take some time to sort of roll higher, but I would not trust these lower nodes on Coinbase too much, seeing as we just delivered from there. Hopefully that helps Max. Oh god. Okay, Snag's in here too. Reddit. Let me take a look. Okay. So Reddit, what? Okay, I think this strike price might be from close, not current. So it is a couple dollars off on Reddit. Yeah, Reddit broke down really strong. So I'd expect a lot of these nodes have sort of just been rolling down, like especially this 210. This 180 node is actually super interesting. But we do have a bit of a ceiling, or sorry, not a ceiling, a floor here at 190. And also Reddit just, we've dropped 35 bucks over past 2 days. So I think, yeah, I realize this 180 node is there. It's super distinctive, super lit up. But yeah, to assume Reddit's going to drop another $35 is maybe quite a bit of risk there. So I'll probably more so just keep an eye on if perhaps this 200 level grows as a floor, or this 190, but honestly Reddit already had the breakdown, so it'd be pretty difficult to play that one. Okay, I think. Okay, yeah, Dana, let me go over Amazon, but I do think I want to do what Dylan spoke about, which is to review some of the general index movement throughout today. Just due to the fact, I think quite a lot of people struggled with that. John had wanted to put together a sort of recap and send it out, or maybe even hop on this call, but John has been quite busy. So he messaged me separately also saying that I can put a bit of time and see if I can recap the general index movement. So we can do that after I take a look here at Amazon. Yeah, let me look at Amazon and PDD, and then we can swap over and I'll pull some of these maps and we can go over the general indexes. Okay, so Amazon looks like a double bottom pretty well. Let me see. Yeah, double bottom really well, actually. It's off of this 215, 217-ish kind of level. I will say Amazon is now at a big clump of nodes. And these are setups generally that are very difficult to gauge just because as we sort of grind into a lot of these higher nodes or stack nodes, maybe is the better word. There's just a lot of potential for chop or just a rejection at any of the levels, etc. So it's quite difficult to trade through a map that looks like Amazon right now. Again, if this 215 was lit up in the morning and you took a reversal there, that's a different story. Because you'd already be in deep profits. But now that we have had a few of these pretty strong ceilings roll in, 220, 225, which the 225 one on the chart is super strong. I would exercise caution if you're going towards Amazon. Let me see. Okay, last one is PDD. I think, yeah, United Health Group or UNH. I did go through earlier, so yeah, I'll leave you to watch the recording for that one. Okay, so PDD. Let me see here. So PDD did just deliver from this 130 node on Monday. Looks like it did tap and just reject super hard off of that. So we got a pretty nice pump. Again, this is going to be one of those cases you're going to look at the past 3 days, how this GEX and VEX volumes have shifted. And by that should help guide your decision of, are we going to reach 134, 135 and reject again or not? So yeah, hopefully that's pretty clear on PDD. But if these nodes did stay pretty consistent throughout the week, then I would say the downside does look possible, just as, we're going to tap sort of this recent swing high, and then we can expect some level of reversal of these strong nodes down into that 130 area, which is huge volume there. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so that should be everything I'm seeing in the chats. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second. I see if I have. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure my streaming settings are correct here. I don't even know where to do this. Okay. No one has had issues with the Discord stream, right? I think I just switched it to 60 frames per second. Okay. Okay, yeah, so seems Giul went through, posted the rest of his charts there. Giul, if you just added BMNR, I don't know if we really, I don't know if you want to go through that or not, but that should be fine.
I think it's no, we're good. It's like pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, yeah, thanks for sending that. And then, so yeah, again, everyone, those charts are public in Swing Ideas. Um, oh, Lune, I just saw your message. Let me take a look at this last thing and then. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying sort of here. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you can call this a flag, but regardless of that, we just need this 88 level really to be reclaimed. Otherwise, it's possible this was a liquidity grab and then we'll just push up after. You know, we sort of stop onto these wicks here. So it's possible we do flip upwards now, but you definitely do need that $88 level to be reclaimed for any chance of that. And either way, like at that point, you're just playing sort of the inside range up to that upper trend line. Okay. Okay, so that should be good for all the charts and individuals. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so yeah, Dylan made a good point of let's try to cover the index movement today. So yeah, give me a second here. Gonna have to pull a lot of these screenshots from the bot, so this may be a bit slower than I would like, but yeah, so give me a quick second here to prep that.
It's gone. I threw most of it away. I threw most of the herb away. I just didn't want to like have it smell like, but also like it's not convenient.
This is gonna be a super slow way of doing this. Probably should have done this before hopping on. So sorry about that, y'all. Because I do think a lot of people had issues today with the indexes. So let's see if we can sort of step through those. Yeah, just sort of share thoughts there. Oh my god, I'm botted. Bruh. Okay. Yeah, it's I guess sort of like this. It's a really slow way to go about this. Yeah, I think next time I might talk with Peen because I think he may be making journals like this throughout the day himself. So just be easier if I use one of his. Should be a lot
I guess I should
easier.
have sent you mine,
Oh, does someone have one? Sorry, who talked? I don't know.
Dylan.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it? Like a journal of how these maps develop throughout the day, or no?
I have a recording of it all.
A
I got an
recording?
hour and a half. I got an hour and a half long video.
Brother.
I record all my trading sessions, and I have one of my interns transcribe and pull key moments out.
So are you saying you have a video of the full thing or of the key
Well,
moments?
I'm pinging him right now.
Okay, yeah. Let me know because that'll definitely be quicker than this.
He basically takes like hour and a half, 2 hour long sessions, and then condenses them down to 15 minutes to get rid of all the boring shit.
Gotcha. That's pretty dope, actually.
He's the least qualified to trade, so that's what I'm having him do.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta start somewhere.
He's learning.
Yep. Okay, yeah, so we'll see if Dylan can do that. If not, I'll keep doing this the bootleg way.
Yeah, keep going. I don't know if he's awake. He should be awake, but we'll see.
Go to sleep that early? Do you got hard worker?
Sometimes they do.
Probably a good thing.
Nah. They're not up when I'm up. There's problems.
Bruh.
Just kidding.
Better that than what I do. Stay up
They work
late
less
every
than
day.
12 hours a day. See, I got some people on my team who work 6 hours a day, some people who work 14. But like sometimes the 6 hour workers outperform the 14, and I'm like, okay, go enjoy your day.
Oh, I mean, yeah. If it's
I don't really care how long
it,
people work, as long as they get their shit done and then they're there when I need them.
also it's a bit easier to sort of quantify that with your with your job and the people you're managing.
Well, it's
For the
nice
next.
too, cause like I know because like some of them have kids and whatnot. If they need to go pick up their kid in the middle of the day, or they want to work from home one day because they need to catch up on laundry and shit, like I don't care, go for it. No,
Yeah. Yeah, I get your point.
not here to micromanage your life. Just do your fucking job.
Yeah, definitely. All right, yeah, for future I gotta prep this stuff beforehand, but whatever. Just do it this way. So yeah, I guess while I'm doing this, first thing I'd want to mention to everyone, Yeah, I think in general, I think something people are forgetting to get is are forgetting to do is the most information you can, the more of a well-rounded view you're having, the better, right? So if possible, I know some of you, if you trade mobile, this is pretty difficult to do, but if you're on PC or laptop, this should be a bit simpler. You should be aiming to look at, um, don't get stuck in only looking at SPX maps or only QQQ maps. If you can easily look at least a couple or even all three, it just helps give you a better sense of just a bit of confluence, right? So I've seen many times the best trades are when you're seeing floors or ceilings being tapped that are very strong floors or ceilings on multiple indexes, multiple of these maps. So I think just one general advice that I think would benefit, especially a lot of the newer people, is just making sure you're trying to drive some of these trades, and having strong confluences across the different index maps. And that will really, one, it'll just reduce the amount of trades you take, but even though it's reducing them, it will improve the quality of those setups. So that's just one general advice I'll give there. And as well as today, I think what happened to many people is they got stuck in on one map at a time. And then because of that, I guess there's couple things that could have happened. One, you could have missed on other maps how today what happened for a lot of the day is these floors just continuously kept rolling up. So, for example, what might have looked like a potential short on one index on one of these heat maps, even if you did think it was a short, if you're seeing floors roll up on the other indexes, that just shows you that downside, even if you do short, that downside is super limited. So it really just tells you that the risk reward is likely not there. So these are things, but these are sort of things you can only see if you're sort of cross-referencing a few of these heat maps for the different indexes as the day goes on, right? So there's one thing I highly encourage, for people to do, and it really, obviously, like I said before, like you do end up with many less potential trades that you enter, but the quality of those really does go up pretty significantly because you're driving a pretty strong confluence between a couple of these maps. So that's just one general advice I'll give. And then I think I've pulled out most of the maps for the morning. I think that's probably fine, honestly. We can just sort of step through those.
Did you pull up the first hour? Did I miss it?
I pulled 9:45, and then after that I pulled every half hour. Oh my god.
Okay. Graphics card crashed.
Are these images showing black for y'all?
Yeah. Your graphics card be struggling.
Bruh. Okay, I just break my computer. Okay.
All good. I can review myself.
Oh. It's back.
I need a review anyways.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. But now we can look at this. Okay, sorry, let me see if anyone sent anything.
Jake just sent a good one.
Dylan starting pay 70 what?
Grand.
Oh, okay. Dude, a 50/90? Nah, bro, I got like a 30/60, I think.
Ew.
Yeah, what the heck? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know Jake had these. This would have saved me time. Okay, y'all, we're gonna use Jake's because these things are super well organized here. Yeah, my computer's breaking though. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'll be honest, I wasn't checking these maps constantly throughout the day, so for me also this is sort of as we go. But what is this showing what? Okay, so it's roughly every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes. Okay, got you, Jake. Thanks for sharing. Wish there was some way I can overlay these. Let me see. All right, this screen is a mess, but hopefully this is good enough.
What I look? What do you do?
So we can see them all at the same time. All right, good enough. Yeah, next time I'll prep this beforehand because this is a mess. All right, so one thing, in general, I'd recommend, especially if this is more new to you, is likely don't trade the first 30-ish minutes or the last 30-ish minutes of the market. And I know Glitch also gives that advice, just due to the fact of we get a lot of volatility early morning in New York session at open. Also, the heat maps in that first 30 minutes is like usually when it's at its most active. Well, in that first 30 minutes and that last 30 minutes, we just get a ton of reshuffling. So a lot of whipsaw. I think also many days there's red folder news at 10 a.m. So like in general, it's not a terrible practice to just say, okay, I'll let some of that initial volatility play out, and then I'll just take a look after 10 a.m. Um, and it'll just be a bit. You'll probably save yourself a bit of headache just by skipping over that hot peak period of volatility. um, yeah. So that's just one general advice there. So yeah, that combined with what I had said earlier about it being preferable to track at least two of these index maps same time and just making sure any trades you're taking are in confluence across some of them. Those couple tips alone will greatly reduce, like I said before, they'll reduce the amount of trades you're taking, but also it'll just increase the probability of those trades going well. Okay, so now let me see. Yeah, now that we are stepping in towards 10:15, let me try to remember.
Nico, look at the chart I dropped in chat. Everyone look at it. Am I retarded for taking that trade? You can say I'm retarded for taking it.
Let me pull this up. What is this? 15. You're playing the rejection based off of these previous
Opening
resistance?
range highs, yeah, opening range highs, playing resistance, and looking at the Q's map, there's all that large accumulation to like the map at 10:15. I assume that's Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. Yep.
mine's 9:15. Where I took that short is at 9. Well, let me open up the 1 minute chart. Hold on.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Let me see here.
Took that short at 9:12.
9:12. Oh, so 10:12. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, 10:12 on the heat
10:12.
one.
10:12. This was at what? 24,830. No, so honestly, like I wouldn't be. I'm not opposed to that trade at all. Like honestly, QQQ is near ceiling, SPX as well. I guess Spy had fought above it and sort of has 664 as a floor. Mm,
I've been trying to figure out all day if I did something wrong or if it's just like a fuck you to the face by the market.
no, I mean I will say like I think a lot of people today um, struggled with general index movement, and I think
Does
this
anyone in
trade.
chat see something different than I do? Like, tell me if you see something different. Very curious.
Let's see what people. I'd say likely not, because I know people even way later in the day were still trying to find those ceiling nodes and play the rejection. And I would say I think later in the day I'd have to verify with charts, but the setups were not even this clean. Like I think most of the times I checked maps, it was only
Oh,
one
today was
ceiling.
ugly as shit.
It was only one ceiling, and then the other two index would have floors, right? So this might be one of the only screenshots I've seen where two of the maps were showing a pretty good ceiling, and the other one was showing a floor. But yeah, that's how they played it today. Is just continuously went rolling it up, um, just the whole day basically. Chopped.
Like looking back, I can see where the long entry would have been, but just at the time it didn't make any sense. Alright, I'm not
Yeah,
looking into
yeah.
it too further anymore. I'm not stupid. I knew it was a good trade. I just got marketed.
Yeah. I mean, happens. Always part of the game. Yeah, so I will say, like, I think very few people. Actually, I don't know if anyone played longs that I've seen in that chat. I don't check the Profits channel though, so it's possible someone over there sent something. Lune, at what time of day did you enter? I guess, like, yeah, share a bit on thesis. Because I do know, especially if you're not playing that first 30 minutes, thesis on long was pretty tricky today. I would say there might have been a floor here if I remember correctly. And then I guess you could play here this flip of that 665 level. I assumed it was going to do what it did yesterday. What?
Lune, I don't understand that thesis.
What it did yesterday. Okay. Yeah, let us know, but I mean, I have way too many maps pulled up, but so I probably
Gonna
had
crash your
screenshots you
computer.
need.
At 3060 is on life support.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, I know all these heat maps. Screenshots are so demanding. Okay. But yeah, let me. Dude, yeah, and I just got windows everywhere. This thing is bricked. Okay. Let me see here. Did 6650 tap today? Sorry, I'm trying to put this together, y'all. I wasn't on too much in the morning. I guess almost. Okay. 11. Okay, yeah, so this was more the general trend I saw. So I guess I was checking more in the afternoon. But as we rolled up through the day, holy, gotta find a better way to do this. Okay, right. But as we rolled up through the day, it was really only SPX that was sort of continuing to roll and show upside targets, whereas SPY and QQQ, they just continuously they had floors, really strong floors actually. They just sort of kept shifting them up as we moved, as price moved up. So, and that's where I say like I think what a lot of people tried to do was take a look at SPX peak node, um, and they would, as well as seeing some of these floor nodes on SPY and QQQ. Their thesis was okay, like let's try to short if we tap this king node on SPX to the upside, and then play that rejection back to some of these um, downside floor levels on SPY and QQQ. Again, I don't know if that was everyone's thesis, but I did see, in general, a lot of people just trying to reverse the trend, right? The best place to do that was typically with some of these ceilings on SPX. So in general, like that is not a bad idea, and I think on many other days it would have worked. But when we are seeing such a strong trend, and especially if we're seeing such a trend, and the only thesis you're seeing for that rejection back to downside is you're playing that ceiling rejection on one index out of the three, I guess that's where I say what I had said before of if you're getting the confluence of seeing that ceiling on two or even three, obviously is best case, that just gives you a bit more confidence in that happening. And I guess I've seen it happen more often where if you're purely playing off one of those maps, there's just a chance that the other two maps are telling a different story, and then that your thesis is sort of not being supported by two of three, and it's only one. So it adds a bit more risk onto those plays. So that's sort of the general advice I can give there. So yeah, oh man, really. So yeah, Hung Boy. Y'all gotta change these usernames. Um, but exactly my point. Like the only ceiling we saw was on SPX, whereas the other two were either showing floors or just not much of a good thesis at all. So it's just difficult to play that rejection if it's purely based off one of the maps. It just gives a bit less confidence to the play. Whereas some of the strong bounces we saw, I think it was last week, and I can go back and pull maps and send later on, but some of those really strong bounces we saw, even on some pretty strong sell-off days, they almost always had two indexes in confluence. Two indexes showing pretty strong floors at those levels, and then that's when we saw some of those pretty nice bounces into end of day. That happened, I think, it was either Wednesday or Thursday or Friday last week. No, sorry, Wednesday or Thursday, I think. But yeah, so I guess that's just being an example of when we do have two indexes aligning, just gives you a bit more confidence and a bit more probability of that either the bounce from lower or the rejection from higher playing out. Okay. A.m. Lune, so you're looking at these maps pre-market? Do I have that right?
Huh?
No, not you, Dylan. Saying in the chat, Lune has been sending. She's trying to explain her thesis. But these maps say 9 a.m., so I guess she's checking pre-market maps. Wait, Lune, you're looking at pre-market Vex maps?
You're insane.
Oh, she might be trading way different than the rest of us. 2 DTEs.
Might be on to something.
Yeah, wait, low key.
Pause. Hold on.
Let's take a look at this. I've never seen anyone trading this way. So 2 DTEs looking at Vex all the time. Loon, yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that over the next week and a half. Or if that's what you always do, then Loki might want to share and
Gotta,
see what you have journaled. Just see how it
gotta
goes.
bust out the paper trade again.
Yeah, man, I might test that out since the beginning. Yeah, so
Finally, someone with a good idea.
Loon, so you've been doing this for months? And this is the first time we found out. What? What the heck? Okay. Okay, yeah, no wonder Loon had a different thesis. She's looking at these completely differently.
Hold on, pull up the pre-market heat. I'm curious.
Yeah, give me a second here. So there's. Yeah, wait, what? How has no one heard this? Loon, you just.
Well, I know Glitch has talked about trading this way before.
Oh, really? Just further out
Yeah,
expirations and then checking Vex?
trading Vex on 2DT. Vex and Gex 9:15 Eastern.
Sam, I think Loon prefers to text. I think she said once.
Then jump on voice and explain yourself.
I told y'all. Um,
I promise I won't rip you apart.
all right, we're just gonna have to play like 20 questions at this point. Yeah, so Loon, are you usually? Mm, I guess yeah. One question I have is how often are you checking these, and then how long are you usually holding your plays for the 2 DTs?
Please place a log, and I want to see charts too if you can. Like, how are you drawing zones? What are you picking up on? If
Okay,
I can play
bet.
today better, I'm taking that all day long. See, guys, even I learn.
Yeah, Loon's about to blow up off of this news. Yeah, because I'll be honest, like I think for me, most of today was just a no trade day because I just didn't see enough thesis for a rejection. Actually, Dylan, like the setup you sent, that one looked pretty good for a rejection there. But apart from that,
I feel like that was the best setup possible for today, without just blindly going long.
yeah,
But Lune might prove us wrong.
even with some of the floors that were there, I think we never pulled back enough for them to fully tap. So like even taking a floor play long was actually pretty difficult as well
You
for
would
a
have
lot of
entered too
today.
early.
Exactly, right? So then that didn't work. I just never saw confluence for shorts across multiple of the indexes. So for me, like if anyone here said like, "Oh, today was difficult. I didn't take a single trade," I wouldn't fault them at all. Like might just be better honestly to do that. Um which is okay. I think that's something also people have to remember that it's fine to wait till next day or even 2 days if you have to, but today while you look at the move at the end of the day and say how do we miss that, I think it was a very difficult day to trade, and trend days tend to be pretty tricky if we have these slow sort of like grinded moves because it just gives no good
Especially when
pullback
there's
entries.
downside nodes like that, and it just never
Mm-hmm.
goes back to them.
Exactly. Right. So like downside
It's
nodes never
impossible to
pulled
trade
enough.
off of like all these setups that most of us are trading off of here are, I mean, essentially AMT, auction market theory based. So support, resistance, supply, demand,
Mm-hmm.
risk reversals, things like that. So if you don't have the nodes playing out and you're just trending, you're never gonna catch days like this. Today would have been a good day for. I bet you if we threw moving averages on the charts, it would have been a great day for that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, probably every single one worked for.
Someone go check Twitter. Where's my MA921 guys tweeting?
Okay, yeah. Lune's been sending a few more things. Let me try to see what she's saying.
Lune, you just gotta hop on voice, girl.
Bruh. Oh no. Giul, come on now. Come on, dog. How did you not know?
She's taken. Leave her alone.
Bruh. No, I'm out of here. Yeah, Giul losing it.
Jewel, what's your favorite setup for tomorrow?
Guy doesn't even know how to put his pants on.
This chat's killing me, man. Okay. I don't know if there's much else to go over today. I don't want to throw Lune under the bus or put her on the spot or anything. So
I
think
do.
probably
Get your ass in here.
Hello?
I think
There
Oh,
it is.
bang. Okay,
Explain
Lune.
Oh,
yourself.
Floor
okay.
is yours. What? Just let me know if you need me to pull up anything, and I can screen share.
Mm,
But if you can just
I
explain
think
verbally, just do that.
yeah, I can do that. I think the 1013 map is what I was following. And usually I will pull these maps in the morning or let me see, around 4 p.m. as well. They work because that's when they reshuffle the whole thing. And the way I look at support is I'm looking for like a consistent node. So like the 6625 is consistent across the board. And then you have like the king nodes being like the 6700 on 1013. So anytime price comes at 6625 or 6650, then for me it's like a good place for me to take a trade, which is what happened today. I don't know if that makes sense at all. And I'm happy to answer questions.
Hold on, let me pull up the maps.
Yes. Yes. I don't know how to read your name. Jeeosh. And that's actually something I do with all the tickers as well. If the node is consistent, for me, that's like a clear floor or ceiling. Like pre-market maps work for SPX. Like you don't even have to like, okay, don't do that. Don't do that. You have to track all day. But if you have the pre-market map, you have your support and resistance. You just have to watch for price to come to those levels and then do whatever you want to do. So for me today, I was trading the 6705 contract, 2 DTs. That's where I was putting most of my money. But then also I had one like the 0 DT as well. That didn't do much until later in the day. But the other ones, they did give me profit. I'm sorry, I'm shy.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
pressured right now.
No, thanks for sharing, Lune.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all trying to pull maps and sort of follow what you're saying.
I think I did mention it in channels. Maybe I'm not shouting enough, but at the very beginning when we started, I used to say, like, watch the maps in the morning. They will give you better insights on where the price is going to go.
Does the bot not pull from pre-market?
Come again, sorry.
Oh, I'm not
Or
sure.
am I just using this thing like an idiot? More chance I'm using it wrong.
Let me hop over to the bot and see.
Or Lune,
I
do
mean,
you have the
even
maps available
for, what was your
for
question, sorry?
for your 915 analysis?
I usually just do the silent, whatever, and then I try to like, let me see if I pulled it in the bot, but I don't think I did. I don't do it anymore.
No, you're fine. Nico just pulled the 9 a.m.
I pull SPX
So
9
15,
a.m. Yeah.
yeah, 15 minutes before. I mean, that's not bad. So looking at, we're sitting at 66.90, which is basically where we closed last night. We opened up down at 66.60.
Yes,
Was there a
and
thought
that's
process
how,
behind
yeah.
that? What gave you the 66.60?
So for me, the 6660 is not what I'm looking at. I would look for it to come back to 6650 based on that big yellow node on there and the fact that 6650 across the board. So if you look at
So
1001,
yeah, so
1002, 1003, it's consistently like blocking that for price not to go down. So for me, and I know that's not how we interpret these nodes, but for me, if it's a yellow node, so a positive node, it's like it's blocking price from going any lower. And for me, that's support. While if I see a purple node like the one on 1003, I know that price is going to be pulled there, but it's going to be pushed back again down. So like, yeah, don't take that with a grain of salt. That's how I visualize it. So for me, I'm like, every time I see it as 6650, I know that it's going to go somewhere around 667, 6700. So on 9:30 on September 30th, when it was at 6650, I was like, okay, it's support, but then it pushed down again. It pushed further. Then you will see that 6625, actually 6625 is also consistent node across all 3 dates. I don't know if this makes sense. I think I've been doing this for so long that it's become like a given for me.
No, I see what you're saying though. So you're tracking some of these SPX VEX nodes, but you're giving a lot of weight to the ones that have high importance for several days, right? So like
Yes, yes,
6650,
yeah,
6625. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, so okay, because it's for the 10-1 heat map, just mark an open range. 6650 on Gex has 560k, 500k, or just call it 500k across the board for simplicity.
right.
So that's your outlook floor through 10.6. Gex kind of lines up there by having 6k, but then that's just for today. Then looking out the next few days, 3k, 2.5k, just under 2k, acting as
Yeah,
a support floor that kind of builds again on the Gex between 630, 625, and on Vex at 6:30, 6:25 as well. So those are your weekly, at least pre-market going into the week, your weekly downside nodes that you're going to try and look at for relative support. We opened at 66.59. So we opened within that 5 to 10 point range. Obviously, glitches talked about.
Yeah.
Came back down, retested it in that area. So did you pick up longs around that 66.60?
I did. Actually, let me see what time I took them. I think I took them early on, which is not something I like to do because I'm always worried about like the what's the name of it? The theta decay. Give me one moment. I don't think I have it. I think I posted it though in the chat.
I mean, looking at it now, it makes sense. I don't dislike it.
I will try to like put like a few observations across the next few, maybe a week, and then I can share that with you guys as some sort of evidence for this thing. But it's worked really well. Unconventional method, but it's worked.
I'm gonna spend way too much time on this. Thank you.
Yeah, Lune, thanks for sharing. I
To
think,
answer any questions, you're welcome.
yeah, we can. I'll probably be pinging you a lot and then see if I can help you put together some stuff so then, we can let you prepare a bit more. I know today's a bit out of nowhere, but maybe next time we can prepare a bit more and just have few more examples for you to share. Maybe that helps you explain for everybody, or to everybody, sorry.
Okay, ignore that other photo I added because that's somebody's that I'm stealing. But like that other attachment is me trying to see if it's gonna go up. And I think I started at right after it went down that day at 10 a.m. And like I've mentioned this before, I also track contract accumulation. So I was tracking the 6,700 on the 0DT accumulating. And to me, it was positive volume across the board. But then it would like hit my stop losses and all that stuff. I think the only one that was successful was the one before that big. Let me see what XPS was doing at that time. I never took any puts at all. I think that's my point.
I see where I messed up.
Oh,
Nico,
you
I
do?
figured it out.
Go ahead,
Okay, so
Julian.
She's onto something.
that the 11 a.m. candle that came in, that's when I made my final trade for like the 0DT and kept working on my like 2DTs because they were working better than the 0DTs. But at that point, I think it went down again until 2 or no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
You said 11? No, if you took it 11.
No, it wasn't. No, sorry. I don't know why I don't have dates on this thing. Okay, so there was that candle at 9:30, and then there was the candle which was like a whatever sell-off at 9:45, and then that first week at 10, that's when my last trade happened. So that T where you see the T, because it went up and then came down again, and I didn't like how it was moving, so I just sold it and remained with my JDTs. But the thesis for me was it was going to be bullish all day, like it did on 9:30, September 30th.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in these things. I just
No,
try to find a way.
You're
No,
onto
my
something.
own shortcut. Okay.
I'm 17 trading days back right now, and you're onto something.
You're definitely expert in this method. I don't think I've ever heard anybody mention this, so definitely you're a person to listen to for this.
Hey, Lune, how long have you been trading?
Me?
Yeah,
Sorry. I started with wait, how
years,
long have I
months.
been trading? It's been 2 years. And then with SPX only since I joined Asgard.
Okay, good to know.
So April.
I'll
Yeah.
DM you later.
Now I'm gonna go hide now. Thank you very much for listening to me.
No, thank you.
No, thanks to you, Lune.
Yeah, I'm back 17 days right now, and this makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna back test as well on my own. But yeah, I mean, goes to show always new ways or different ways to interpret what we're getting out of the same tools, y'all. So yeah, I think everyone can back this on their own if they want, or otherwise, I think I'll probably be seeing if maybe we can get a bit more recaps or examples from Lune, and then maybe we can share something a bit more structured someday, because yeah, we put her pretty on the spot there to to share thesis for today and what she's been thinking over the past few days. But yeah, definitely something new for everyone to look into. Okay. Let me think. I don't even know if we need anything else to go over. Let me see. Yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to go over? Is everyone's in shock, I guess?
I'm just analyzing this. Start looking at this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it as soon as I like stop screen sharing and I can just
Tell
take a
me.
look on my own.
Sometimes it's not as clear, but most of the time it is. It's fascinating. I used to think I was being delusional because I was the only one doing that. So I was never confident. And then when I realized it actually works out, I and also another trick, I could also tell where Lily LLY was going from the facts on 19 no September 19. So when it was still like all those nodes that were lying, like I could tell like where the support was for like the 10 or 3 like price action. The same way I'm doing with the SPX as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm back testing this on everything then. I'm gonna probably have to wait till the weekend, but I'm gonna spend a lot of time looking at this. Yeah, Josh, I'm gonna drop it, then make it private with password. And then so we can keep this to whatever 30 amount of people that are here. But yeah, definitely it'd be good. I think enough people got the idea that now we have quite a few people we could sort of go through, back test. It seems we can look at it for SPX and individual tickers. So actually, it's very good as well. So honestly, yeah, bit of homework for a few of us, and then I'll have to think maybe next Wednesday, maybe Monday, or just maybe a bit more informal session. We can sort of reconnect with everybody and see, compare through all these back tests. But yeah, if Lune has been doing this for months, obviously this is something that works, right? Um, yeah. So I think thanks again, Lune. This is pretty massive, I think. Yeah, I think you can tell how people are reacting. That this will help a lot of people. Okay, yeah, Giul and Dylan are chatting in PM. Is there anything else anyone else has questions on? I guess a couple last things I can say is Yeah, I think for Sunday sessions, I'm gonna be speaking with John. At this point, those will probably transition away from charting, and based on some of the feedback we got on that form we sent out. Okay, actually, first of all, if anyone would fill that form out that hasn't, we would appreciate that. And then secondly, based on some of the input from that feedback form, me and John will know. Basically, we'll be choosing a topic each Sunday, and those Sunday sessions will likely just be sort of one-off topic sessions, and just based on what either we see in those response forms or just struggles we see in the chat generally throughout the day. And that's sort of what we'll transition those Sunday sessions to be. So those should be a bit more structured, and it should be like me and John or I, just sharing a couple things we prepped, and then just opening it up for questions from anybody who joins. So yeah, and I'll send an announcement about that in the future, but that should be sort of so you guys get the gist of sort of the weekly schedule. Um, yeah, so firstly, thanks. I think we can cut it here then. So thanks to Giul, Dylan, Lune, each of you for joining and sharing your own, your own aspect. Yeah, I think this finally I fixed the YouTube, so this should be replayable in good quality with audio. Um, and yeah, so hopefully this will be smooth sailing on the live stream side going forward. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Yeah, thanks Jewel, Dylan, Loon, all each of you for joining, dropping all the good knowledge, and then yeah, hopefully good luck rest of Thursday and Friday, everyone. Okay. Yep. Bye everyone. Thanks. I'll cut the recording now then, and I'll get that posted to YouTube. Yeah. Sam, I'll send you that YouTube. Sorry, not just you. I'll send it out in the chat. So then anyone who wants is able to watch that recording. And yeah. Oh,
Thanks, Nico.
if you check out the YouTube, start spamming likes. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it. Okay. Bye, everyone.